If you want to know something about yourself, sit on your bed one night and say to yourself, you got to mean this. Like, you got to be desperate. This is no game, this. It's like, my life is not everything I want it to be, and perhaps it's not everything that I need it to be. And by need, I mean my life is so unbearable that the suffering that's attendant upon that is make me nihilistic, cynical, bitter, resentful, unable to have a good relationship. These are problems, man. And you ask yourself, you sit on the bed and say, what's one thing I'm doing wrong that I know I'm doing wrong, that I could fix, that I would fix? It's like, you meditate on that, you'll get an answer. And it won't be one you want, but it'll be the necessary one.
When you are on the path, you want to stay on the path. Unfortunately, the opposite is also true. Once you step off the path, you tend to stray far. When you don't prepare what you need to do the next day, when you sleep in and then skip your workout and you don't start attacking the tasks that you have because you didn't write them down the night before, that is when you make bad decisions. That is when your will and discipline fail.
Stop telling your visions to other people, because they're not going to see it. Because God is talking to you. He's showing you something that he has for you.
The problem with most people is that you're not obsessed with improvement. You're obsessed with making money. You're obsessed with taking your business to the next level. And can I be honest with you guys? When you become obsessed with improvement, I will spend more time learning in Australia than I will speaking. I'm gonna say it again because you missed it. I will spend more time sitting under people. I will spend more time with Glenn. I will spend more time with Aaron. I will spend more time learning than I will speaking in this country. I will walk away with stuff I never heard before, books I've never read before, audios that I've never seen before, going to conferences that I've never gone, hanging out with people that I've never hung out with before. This is nothing, God. This is just the desserts. Be obsessed with improvement. Be obsessed with improvement. Be obsessed with improvement. And like the lion, go from a gazelle to a lion. Why? Because if you don't kill it, then your family won't eat.
That is what I'm going to go for. And it doesn't matter that I will not be better than others when I compare myself to them. No. I will look at others who do achieve greatness in a category, and I will say, look at what is possible. How close can I get to that greatness? How close can I get to that glory? But my glory doesn't happen in front of a crowd. It doesn't happen in a stadium or on a stage. There are no medals handed out. It happens in the darkness of the early morning.
My number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you.
This is all about the quitting mind. So what's the quitting mind? So let's say it's day one of a job interview. We all know what that fucking shit feels like. You have your clothes laid out. You got your fucking food ready to go in the morning. You've been preparing for weeks and weeks and weeks. You show up and you bring your best self. You get the fucking job. Merry fucking Christmas. All right. After a couple months, you start showing up to work a little later. You don't look as good. Your clothes aren't fucking laid out. Your breakfast isn't ready. Your mind's getting softer. We do that shit with everything in life. When New Year's coming up, guess what? Don't have a fucking quitting mind. Repetition every day. Stay hard.
And by parent yourself, I mean it's your job to make yourself do the crap you don't want to do so you can be everything that you're supposed to be. And you're so damn busy waiting to feel like it. And you're never going to.
You could change. You should change. You won't change. That's called accumulated disaster. Could, should, and will. You can start this whole process. And if you will, then put it into action. The miracle belongs to you.
The lion is considered to be one of the most ferocious animals, one of the most dangerous animals, one of the kings of the kingdom. That when the sun comes up in Africa, that the lion has to do something too. Even though he's great, the gazelle's not going to come and just let him eat him up. He's going to have to chase that gazelle down. He's going to have to kill that gazelle. So when I read it, that's the similarity. That if it doesn't make a difference if you're a gazelle, it doesn't make a difference if you're a lion. If you're at the top of the game, you still got to work. If you're at the top of your game, you still have to grow. If you're at the top of your game, what I know about you, if you're at the top of your game, there's still room for improvement. You can still get bigger. You can still get better. You can still be bolder. If you are still alive, there's still room for growth. There's still room to grow and be better.
Instead of going backward, instead of decaying, get stronger, get better, grow and learn and develop and live. Live in defiance of the weakness and in rebellion against the decay. Fight them as they creep in with their offers of instant gratification and immediate rewards. Fight them for every inch they try to take. Do not surrender any ground ever. Hold the line.
Listen to me very closely. Y'all running from obstacles when in fact it's the obstacle that's going to take you to the next level. Like y'all running from pain. Y'all running from challenges. You telling me how difficult your life is. Do you understand it is the difficulty that's going to prepare you and take you to that next level? Why do you keep crying? Why me, God? Why did I get MS? Why did I get cancer? Stop running from it and run to it. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to hear me. The reason why you do what you do is more critical than what you do. And if why you do what you do is weak, I need you to go back and start all over again. Because life is going to beat you upside your head. And I'm going to tell you this. I don't care who you are and what profession you're in. Before you blow up, life will strip you to the core. But if you're weak, you will be broke. And I'm not here because I'm the best. I'm here because they tried to break me and they couldn't.
It was to remind you that you were born to do something great with your life, to tap into something in you that's been there all the time, and you tap into it sometimes, but that somehow you decide today, I'm going to walk a little different, I'm going to talk a little different, I'm going to feel it, I'm going to live my life, I'm not going to wait around, I'm not going to have these depth perception issues, I'm going to begin to give myself the gift of happiness so that I can transfer it to other people. I'm going to outwork everybody. I'm going to do one more meeting, one more contact, one more time I tell my daughter I love her.
Where I try, and I try, and I try again. With everything I have to be the best that I can possibly be, better than I was yesterday.
What the hell were you all waiting for to start attacking life? You waiting for the fucking stars to align? Back when I was growing up, the song came out. All I need is a miracle. Well, guess what? That miracle ain't coming. There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life. We're all being tested in life. And guess what? This is one test you can't cheat on. We all have our own test. Some of us are obese. Some of us are depressed. Some of us are insecure. In the military, we had this big old rucksack on the back. Had batteries, water, extra gear. Your extra gear is the shit you're dealing with in life. And the only way to overcome it is for you and you alone to face it. You have to do your best work when you're the least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you gotta do? You gotta suck it the fuck up and do it. Stay hard.
In order to transform your personality, that first of all you had to be disciplined, that's for sure, but you also had to integrate that part of you that was terrible and capable of breaking rules and make it part of you. And so then, and I really like that idea. Well, here's an example. A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control. And you know, you also see that, like one of the central female stories, let's say, if the hero archetype is the central male story, there are variants of hero archetypes that are relevant to women, and one of them is Beauty and the Beast. And you know, Beauty isn't interested in the guy who isn't the Beast. She's interested in the guy who's the Beast, and that's exactly right, but she's interested in the guy who's the Beast that can be civilized and disciplined. right? And who can use that in the service, well, let's say, of a family.
Hear people say, if you believe it, then you can achieve it. And the problem with that is they're leaving out the most important part of the equation. And that part is work, action, actually doing something. That's what you have to do to achieve anything. Yeah, you gotta believe it, but you better get the work done.
But usually we react. We have pain, we have suffering, we react, and we react about get the fuck out of here. It's those people who are able to control that feeling of flight and say, no, motherfucker, there's a way through this. It's going to end. It's going to end, but we don't know that. We don't think that. At that time, it's going to last forever.
You're not a procrastinator. You have a habit of procrastinating. Because if it's a habit, I can teach you to use science to break it. You see, all habits have three parts. There's a trigger, and in the case of procrastination, the trigger's always stress. Then there's a pattern you repeat, and in the case of procrastination, it is to avoid doing something. And then there's a reward. You get a little stress relief. So next time that you're in a situation where you feel yourself hesitate, you spent way too much time checking out the highlights from last night's scores, what you're going to do is you're going to go, oh, I must be stressed out about something. Acknowledge the stress. Then go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I want you to just work, just for 5 minutes. The reason why I want you to only work for 5 minutes is because your problem isn't working. It's the habit of avoiding. I just need you to start.
People that are taking a stand in life, they are consciously involved in a process to design a life of substance. People who are following the crowd, these are people that they're just doing what everybody else is doing. So that's a crowded road over there.
You don't want to judge who you are so harshly that you just destroy yourself and everything is cast into the pit. You want to take a look at yourself and say, look, you know, you're a person among persons and you have intrinsic worth and you have your flaws, your sins, but there's the becoming problem. It's like, well, most of you is still in the becoming phase. And so why wouldn't encouragement be the hallmark of love? It's like, get the hell up, get your act together.
If you want to become successful in life, young man, he said, number one, you got to change your mindset. He said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Number two, practice OQP, only quality people. You earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. I found that out. I left all my broke friends. I said, y'all got to go. Third thing he said, develop your communication skills, because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. He said, those are 3 major things that you want to work on that will liberate you from living in Liberty City, living in poverty in Overtown. It will help to escape out of where you are right now.
Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you're fucked. You got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over.
There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain, because that hurts. You remember what that felt like.
A lot of people that are scared of their ability to do something that's difficult. They're scared of whether or not they, like, you see someone who's doing something that's really tough to do and you go, man, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could force myself to be disciplined. I don't know if I could force myself to take that kind of action. Well, if you do force yourself to take that kind of action, you don't have that question anymore. That question, I don't know if I can do it. Well, you're doing it. So you obviously can do it. Can you do it tomorrow? We did it today. Or can you do it tomorrow? Just do it.
No one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you. And because you're only ever going to do the things that you feel like doing right now or that feel good right now, unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself. You've got to push yourself. You're not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not. We're not wired that way. You weren't born that way. You weren't that way when you were growing up, and you're certainly not that way as an adult. And there's a tremendous amount of liberation that comes when you accept the fact.
Whether it's adversity, whether it's suffering, whether it's pain, if you choose to run towards it, who you become on the other side of it is a newer, higher, more transcendent version of you.
You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You're able to say to yourself, I've lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. You must do the thing you cannot do. It is the thing that we cannot do. And because it is that, we must do that.
Other than death, all failure is psychological. Just think about that. This failure, this upset, this catastrophe, if you aren't dead, then it's just psychological. This does not mean that you won't lose some battles, because you will. We all will. But it does mean that as long as you don't surrender, as long as you don't give up, as long as you don't quit, then you haven't failed. It just means you've made a temporary tactical retreat. It means you've made a brief withdrawal so that you can regroup and reattack. So, as far as I'm concerned, if you get beat, unless you're dead, you are not defeated.
But my thesis in life is it doesn't matter who you are today. It certainly doesn't matter how you were born. The only thing that matters is who you want to become and the price you're willing to pay to get there.
The way you've defined yourself really controls you. And so it can be to your advantage. So if your thing is I find the way, you're going to find the way. If your thing is I always end up losing, or people hate me, or I put things off, or whatever your identity is, if it's a negative identity, that is what's controlling your life.
I know I can control my effort. I can't control everybody's effort. I can control my attitude. I can't control everybody's attitude. I can control me keeping my word. I can't control everybody keeping their word.
Well, what if you're God and you come here to this incredible place you created called planet Earth, and you walk up to one of your creations and you say, hey, creation, how you liking this thing I created for you? And the person says, God, I'm glad you showed up because I got a bone to pick with you. I mean, first of all, why do you make it so effing hot all the time? And then you make these stupid people that get in my way and interfere with what I'm trying to accomplish. Why wouldn't you make everybody nice and connected? And you make these little red ants, and they bite my ass. I mean, why would you create such a thing if you're God? And then God goes to one of his other creations and says, how are you liking this place? And they say, oh, God, thank God you're here. I've always wanted to thank you directly. This is the most amazing paradise. It's so unbelievable. First of all, you never get bored because you're always changing the temperature. It's so amazing. You bring so many people to challenge me to grow. And you made these little red ants. Man, these things are courageous. They're 1/1,000,000th my size and they bite my ass. It's amazing. Now the question is, if you were God, who do you want to hang out with, the first person or the second one?
Because when you live an easy life, your life is really hard. When you do hard things, your life becomes easy. How much adversity can you handle and still keep making good decisions, still keep putting one foot in front of the other, still keep leading people that you're meant to lead? And if you can crank up that thermostat by intentionally doing hard things, running towards pain, doing that one more set, one more rep, one more step, one more sales call, one more knock on the door, one more thing, one more degree than everybody else. All it takes is that one extra degree consistently compounded over time. You become a savage of a human.
The reason why you're a loser, and the reason why you're not fucking making it, and the reason why you're trying to go to all these, I go to all these fucking conventions, speak all the fucking time. I look in the fucking audience. These people sign up fucking every year to go to a convention, thinking they're gonna learn something fucking different. No, you're lazy. You know exactly what to do. Because even me, in my state of, I can't read and write, I knew exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. It sucks to do it. It sucks to wake up every morning of your life and say, God, man, I'm not smart. So guess what I gotta do? I gotta study the same shit that I got one of the highest scores in the nation on. That real me back here every fucking time is saying, that ain't you, bro. That ain't you. And I have to outwork that voice.
The time is now to start that dream. The time is now to start that idea. The time is now to set standards and stand by them. The time is now in your life.
Once fear is acted upon, the death of fear is certain. If you had 6 months to live, what would you do differently? Would you have the same job? Would you be worried about things that you're worried about right now? Would you have the same relationships? Would you have the same people in your life?
When no one sees those hours, those countless moments when you're grinding, when it's just you, but God and you. And you got to trust that God gave you the ability and the opportunity and the desire to be more so you can serve more.
A lot of people sit back and they dream about being a sports figure, or dream about being a SEAL, or dream about being an astronaut. And all it is a motherfucking dream. They don't put the work behind the dream. That dream has become their fucking master. When you become the master of your fucking dream is when you say, I want to go be a Navy SEAL, and you say, okay, I'm gonna lose 106 pounds in less than 3 fucking months. The dream was the one thing I thought about, and the dream was now gone. Now, what comes in, the dream goes away, and the fucking laundry list of fucking details and tasks come up. Gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. That's when you become the master of your dream. So, a lot of people out there dreaming.
Your mind is a very strange thing. As soon as you give it a name, a genuine aim, it'll reconfigure the world in keeping with that aim. You have to be genuine about the aim, but once you aim, the world will reconfigure itself around that aim.
Success comes down to doing the obvious thing for an extraordinary period of time without convincing yourself you're smarter than you are.
I don't care if you have to inch your way day by day, even if you have to get down and it hurts and it's hard and nobody can see what you're really going through. If you don't quit, the pit will become your platform.
Being from a disciplined family does not make you a disciplined person. What makes you a disciplined person is choosing to be disciplined.
Everybody's got a dream. Everybody's got a goal. But when you write your why down, what your why does for you is says you can't quit. You can't give up. You can't stop. If there's no money, you make up something. You go print it. If nobody's giving you an opportunity, you create it. But what I can't do is I can't let my son down. I can't let my wife down. I can't let my parents down. I can't let my city down. And for you, your problem is you're just focused on your dreams and your goals, and you're not focused on why do you want this? Why do you get up in the morning? Somebody say, E.T., why do you wake up at 3 o'clock? Why not? If all I have to do is get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and my family can live like they want to live and I can change the world, and all 3 o'clock, have you lost your mind? I'll get up at 3 every day. Why? Because my why is greater than my sleep.
It's the dream that spurs a person. It's not education. The dream spurs you to get an education. But the dream drives everybody, man. If you could not fail, what would you be if you just knew you couldn't fail and you could be it?
You are not your past. You're you. You're you right now. Like the past you might have done some things you wish you hadn't done. Don't dwell on that. You learn from it, that's fine, but don't dwell on it. Just keep moving. Keep moving. You know, use it as fuel. Say never again. You know, I get what I did wrong, but don't think that you're that person that made those mistakes. You're the person who's learned. You know, and to have that attitude is a really important thing.
I think that with me, visualizing became a normal thing. And I never really knew that I had really a very special ability to visualize and to connect the dots, to say to myself, well, if I can see it, then, and I can make it a reality. So for me, the vision became a reality. So it was only then a matter of following through with the work to get there. Work your ass off. Because every single time when I had a vision about anything, I had to work my ass off. But it was pleasure. See, that is the great thing. When you go to work and you know exactly why you're working, then it becomes fun, a challenge. It's entertaining sometimes.
Get out there and go and do something. Just go. And then in the middle of doing it, it'll become easy. Even if it's not easy, even if it's hard, it's easier than not doing it and wishing that you had done it.
Dedicate your life to a cause larger than yourself. See, if you dedicate your life to a cause larger than yourself, you're not following in the crowd. The quality of life is often determined by that to which the individual is dedicated. If the dedication of the life is vague and diffuse, the quality is apt to be poor and weak. There is much to be said for the intensity of life.
I just believe, and I got a game plan. You always got to have a game plan. Even like everybody in this audience, you know, what we're slacking is this. We have to go back to the old school, pen and paper. We have to write our ideas down and sit it right there on the nightstand, and you got to see every day. You see certain goals. You can write down 10 goals, and then in 12 months, if you ain't accomplished none of those goals, then you're running in place. I think the best thing about my career was I'm my own boss. That I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I rolled the dice, and to become great at whatever you want to do, you got to roll the dice and take a chance on yourself.
Here's what I discovered that happens to you in life, that you will go through things, and while you're going through them, you can't understand why it's happening to you. But after you go through it, you get back and you look at it and you say, oh, now I understand why I needed that lesson. That I couldn't understand it then. But after I got through it, then I saw that was preparing me for bigger and better things. That as you go through the challenges of life, and you look at it and embrace whatever comes to you, don't run from it. See, but when you go at what you're going to deal with, and you deal with the difficulties of it, when you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions right now.
Fuck your tired body, fuck that unmotivated mind, and get out there and do it anyway. You know, you better fight yourself, because you're not only winning when things are going your way. You got to figure out how to win when things aren't going your way. You got to figure out when your body's fighting you, when your mind's fighting you. How do you still, you know, just say, fuck it, I'm gonna beat my mind today? Or do you just give in to your mind and say, oh, I'm tired today, I'm lazy, I don't want to do it, it's too hard, no one else is doing it, it's a weekend, it's too late, these are already off hours, oh, exactly what I want isn't happening right now. Like, okay, great. You know who that's great for? Your competition. You want that attitude to permeate the people that you're competing against. You want them to give in to their mind. You want them to say, oh, it's too hard, I can't do it. But you want to be the one that says, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. I know I don't feel good today, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to prove to myself that even on days that it doesn't feel right, I push myself.
Engage. Weakness is strong. I must be strong. I must crush it into submission through force of will. So I savage the body. I push and pull and fight against gravity. I fight against fatigue and soreness and the weakness that says, give in. I will not give in. I will fight.
You say you want to be great, let your actions, let your words display that. If you say you really want to be elite, let your actions and let your words display that. That's uncommon, right? You can't be a common man and do uncommon things. That's uncommon. That's an uncommon mentality. That's an uncommon spirit. That's an uncommon disposition.